What's up, openers? Welcome to Open Relationship Podcast, where we have an open, honest conversation and talk about everything from A to Z as it pertains to LGBTQ plus community and beyond. I'm your host, Rodney. You can follow me on IG at I am Rodney Wash.
I'm Meech. You can follow me on Instagram at oneking_Meech.
I'm Wally, and you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Wally the Godfather.
And I am your host, Solomon E. Stretch. You can follow me on IG at Solomon E. Stretch. And as you can see, it's just four of us today. Randall is out filming for his, or creating content for his spicy social media.
And he didn't even invite us.
Well, do we
Speak
want
for
to?
yourself.
I was about to say, do we want to be invited?
I
Screaming.
know. He feel left out.
I mean, I just want the invitation. I may decline.
Wow.
It's given
Extra.
I want to be a third.
Very much.
And we have hosts. Guess what? Open, we got a collection plate bag. Collection plate.
Yes.
All
yes,
right,
yes.
so you can give in 3 ways. First, openers. You know we love you to give on Facebook. You can subscribe to our Facebook group for 99 cents a month. And you can also buy stars. We have 5 young professional gay black men. And you can also, number 2, donate to the podcast. On whatever description box you listen to us on, click that donate button, give what you want to give. Okay, as you can see, we have hundreds. We need hundreds, okay? We need to pay for production, we need to pay for my nails. As you see, my gel is going.
Thank you.
Okay,
Ain't nobody paying for your nails.
it's busted and dusted and look crusted.
When'd you get them done?
I got them done last night for the event,
Oh.
for the podcast
For the podcast
event.
event?
Yeah,
And
which
they
is
coming off already?
they coming off already. They charged me $30.
Maybe you wash your hands more than you normally.
That ain't bad. I ain't gonna. I attest to that. I do wash my hands. And third,
What?
you can subscribe to us on YouTube, and Solomon will show you how you turn to a green checker.
We love it when you slide into our DMs and communicate with us, send us pictures, and send us compliments, and do all the things that you do. However, we love it when you come to our YouTube and you like, you comment, and you subscribe. We do have 3 new hosts this season. Jump in their DMs. Have fun over there.
But come correct, baby.
Jump in his DM.
This show
He
him
take
a-
requests.
This show Wally a nude. He's open for business.
I mean, summer is approaching.
Oh my God.
There you go, hot boy. All right, openers. And you could also, for the people who listen on the audio version, you are very important as well. We love you too here, baby.
Yes.
So we need you all to give us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen to us on. As you see, my voice has changed. So I'm so sincere about this. We need 5 stars. Okay.
5 stars.
We need you to like, follow on the audio version as well. Y'all are showing up, showing out, but y'all not subscribing. And I don't understand why. The listenership is there, but I see no extra comments. So, hit us up, right? What you like about the show, either if it's good or bad, we accept all feedback here on the podcast. All right, let's get into the show.
We ready? All right, openers. Before we get into our first segment, as you know, we got to pay our bills. So Apple is our official sponsor for the Open Relationship Podcast. If you haven't done so yet, click the link in our bio for 1 month of Apple TV or Apple Music. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. Also, we will be going live for our Green Check Patreon subscribers and Facebook subscribers every 4th Thursday of the month. We went live last Thursday. We had a lively conversation, so that will be occurring at the end of May as well.
What have you opted for? Are you doing Apple Music or Apple TV?
Apple Music.
I already had Apple Music, so I got Apple TV.
You did?
I did, and I love it.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never had
There's
it.
some really good shows on there.
Yeah, you click the link.
Well,
I'm saying that's a good thing. So I'm glad you attesting that the link worked and it's our
it
discount.
works.
What's the difference
Oh
between
my
like Hulu and
I think Apple TV has like more specialized shows. I don't know.
Don't Apple TV produce their own shows?
Yeah, they do.
They
Mhm.
do.
So that's part of
And
the
their shows are phenomenal. Like I've watched Foundations. I've watched Good.
Good Morning America.
No, it's not Good Morning America.
Good Morning.
Wow.
It's
I
something.
think it's just called Good Morning.
Yeah, I know it's
The new
it's
show.
a new show.
Oh my God.
They I love them. I guess
Cool.
Wally hasn't, but whatever.
All right, so guys, let's get into the hot topics of the week. I got 5 stories for you guys. I have scoured the internet and found the hot topics that you guys have been commenting on. So let's get started. So a couple weeks ago, I told you guys about the young track star Carmelo Anthony, who I guess you would say, is it allegedly took a young white guy's life after him and the twin brother had attacked him at a track meet. Since then, there's been a whole lot of drama. Have you guys seen on social
No,
media?
what's going on?
So
Keep
much
me
drama.
up to
First,
Wendy
he
Williams.
had Wendy Williams. Okay, so it's a lot here, guys. So first, he had $1 million bond.
Ooh.
He had $1 million bond, and
So that's
then
$100,000.
yeah, you got to pay 10%, I believe. Then a black female Republican judge reduced it down to 250, so he was able to get out on bond. The day he got out, it was a whole bunch of death threats from him and his family, to the point where I guess his family is actually like above middle class in Texas. So a lot of people thought that the money that he got from the GoFundMe, which is like almost at 400 something thousand right now, they thought it went to the house. So people started sending like crazy things to the house, like gifts, but bad gifts, like you need to die, stuff like that to the house. So they had to leave the house. And then now his dad had a press conference last week to talk about defending him and blah, blah, blah. And the deceased guy's father showed up to the press conference. They got into a little tussle. Police had to escort him away. So it's been a lot going on. But a lot of people was upset. They thought that he basically was profiting off the GoFundMe. But actually, the GoFundMe got taken down for 3 days. And then they put it back up there. So they actually, to this day, still have not taken out the $400,000.
I have this to say. And then correct me if I'm wrong, open this in the comment, or also Meech. Didn't the father say that he had no ill will against the person who killed his son?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. So why were they mad that he showed up?
They was mad that I wouldn't say the family was mad. It more like created tension in the room when he showed up to the open press conference, because he wanted to speak at the same time. He showed up basically like you're not wanted there type of thing.
I don't know if it would have happened. I think it would have been nice if he would have got there and said, hey, guys, I have no ill will towards this young man. This happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been a unity thing.
Yeah, because it's the thing, like, grief is different for everybody, so I don't judge. But he said that, like, the day after that, he had no. But then the comments and the interviews after was like, my son needs justice. Now his brother doesn't have a brother.
Also, it changed.
Yeah,
Okay.
his tone
I wasn't
changed.
following like that, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. Okay.
So I was shocked that he even showed up, but that's just me.
Well, if that's the case, yeah, get your ass out my
Because he could have had his own press conference.
Yeah, have your own.
But yeah, so that was a big story in the comments. So the next story, you guys, I think you guys put this in the group chat, so I went and looked it up. Donnie McClurkin credits Christianity with saving him from his homosexuality lifestyle that he was living for years.
Oh, Donnie.
When I read it, I thought, here's another guy who just couldn't fully embrace his self for whatever reason, so he's choosing to decline it. And I think there's some people like that. I personally know people who feel like it's too much to take on that identity, so they choose not to. But I think when you say you've been saved for something, it's almost puts a dim light on it. Like it's a negative, it's a harsh, it's the worst thing in the world. Just say you chose to move your identity. I think that's okay. What do you guys think?
You want me to go? Because I have a lot to say.
You already went. You went on the last one first.
Okay.
Let Wally go.
Okay, Wendy.
I fell on two different sides of the story with this one. I think it's like not responsible, like for a lot of religious people to put homosexuality into this kind of other box or equation. I think for Donnie, there could be a few different things. Like, yes, he may have had desires, but did those desires stem from him being molested in the past? Because sometimes that does create confusion about your sexuality and some of your desires. So that's one thing. But then on the other side of things, like just because you suppressing your desires don't mean you don't have them. Okay, so
cool.
got bi, gay, whatever you are. It's irresponsible, to be honest with you.
What you think, Solomon?
Was anybody asking?
Asking him?
Mm-hmm.
I think he said this in front of his, because he has a church.
I know
think
he
he
has a
said
church,
this while he was up there.
But was anybody asking? Like, does anybody care about your sexuality? And I think that's
No.
the big thing. Like, you are just spontaneously giving information about something that may be a non-factor, but you're making it a factor.
That's my thing with the intent. Like, what is the what
Exactly.
is the message you're trying to deliver by making this statement? Because you could have kept that to yourself and just showed up with your next wife and called it a day. We would have been like, "Oh, that fag in the dresser." Like, that fag. Like, we would have never really like dove into it. Like, okay,
Wait a minute.
what's your thoughts?
Oh my God. So I do not like when you are a Christian and you used to be gay and you want to weaponize Christianity
Homosexuality.
to homosexuality in Christianity. That has nothing to do with you being gay, whatever. If you are straight now, who am I to say you not?
Yeah.
But don't shut down one other community, uplift another one. And what is wrong with being gay? You was gay in the church then. Did you change your preaching? Like, did the preaching change? Like, I just want to know what changed.
Like, technically, I'm a Christian. Does that means I'm like not allowed in the church or something?
Cause he was still in church making music. He made good music. So we're
Yes.
gonna get better music because you're straight now.
We gonna get
Like-
better music.
And a lot of
better
people,
preaching. Like, what is changing? So again, I think you said, what was the announcement needed for? Like, we don't care. Move in silence.
That just lets you know when it's not settled within you. You have to come externally and try to seek that validation.
honestly, I think it's a cry out from the Christian community because churches' attendance are dwindling. And so they're just trying to, hey, we deliver you from your homosexuality.
Oh my God.
Deliver you
That's
from
my
what?
thing. I'm sorry.
The lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
So this is what
the sin.
This is my
It's so strong.
question. So when you made all the records when you were gay, should you give that money back since it was on the false
Oh, all
pretense?
that he profited off of
You know what I'm
during
saying? You
those times.
profit off of it. So if you are so quote unquote changed, donate the money to charity. Start over and see what gay life
What are
do
you
for
talking
you.
about? The
The
money
straight
that
life,
he
I mean.
received while he was
Gay.
gay on
Apparently
the
he was
music
gay
ministry?
singer. He don't like he been delivered.
Yeah.
Don't use that gay money.
Did we
Give
know
it
he
to
was
charity.
gay then?
I think we knew he was gay.
I thought
then.
he was delivered a long time ago. No.
I do remember him coming out a few years ago and saying he was not gay.
So this is his
Wasn't that
second
the we
time
fall
doing
down?
it?
That's
I
what he was
remember that
talking
like
about.
years ago.
He fell down and he
No,
got
it's
delivered.
about life, not about homosexual.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
All right, let's move on from Donnie. We gave him his moment. All right, the third story of the day is, which we talked about this before, Shannon Sharpe being sued by the Snow Bunny. Shannon Sharpe was in an entanglement with a now 23-year-old. He is, I believe, 56 years old. They started being entangled in 2019 when she was 19. And now she has put a sexual violence claim against him for litigation. And she's also suing for $50 million. My thing is this. Shannon Sharpe is very old school, as you see in all his shows, but he's very much always been a snow bunny worshiper, which as Dr. Umar calls white girls. And I feel like that's the reason why he's not married, is because he's chasing things that are not compatible with him. He has 3 great children. He has a very nice lifestyle. He made $14 million playing football in 13 seasons. He only made $14 million. He just had $100 million podcast deal. So he's in a whole new realm than what he was before. But I think going after the Snow Bunnies is why he doesn't have he's not married. But I do think there is probably some validity to her story, because when you are dealing with a man of that stature, he uses power as like his second personality. I do think they was probably.
Not Wendy.
I do think that rich men do prey on younger girls. She was 19 and white, but
And younger women have
an
been known to
affection
prey
for
on
secure
older men.
men. That's why I don't think there's, first of all, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a transactional relationship. But I think what they got out of both of their bounds. She had probably never dealt with a man that was stable. He didn't know he was dealing with a millennial white girl. And but as far as the sexual allegation, that's what I really want to get to. She's saying that he flew her out and came to her house multiple times where he sexually abused her To me, what's going to be tricky is the relationship continued for at least 18 months after the abuse, and it was consensual those full 18 months. So it's kind of like,
I think
how
that's
are they going to
tricky.
prove it? You know what I mean?
I
How are
think
you
that's
going to?
tricky, especially with the nature of abuse. And so there have been people who've been abused in relationships for years and stay for years.
Yes.
So
Even after, like, it's like if you sue your employer for racial discrimination, and then you go back to work, you still walk back into the same environment, even though you handle whatever the disagreement was.
I would say that's different because your job is your livelihood. That man was not her livelihood.
At those
So
4 years, he was.
at the same time, you went back.
That's what I'm
So
saying. But trauma is dealt with
I'm
so
not here to
differently.
say what is true, what's not true, but it's getting money grab. I'm going to be honest. If I sit in a juror stand and I listen to the story, it's giving money
But my
grab.
thing is, it was always money grab. Now, when he was 52 and she was 19, that was already money grab. To me, now it's trying to destroy his life with the
So,
money grab.
so here's what
Yeah.
I have to say. So, Shannon Sharpe, you need to stop being a country bumpkin and be about your
Oh
business.
my God.
So, if you have sexual kinks, you need to have people sign non disclosure agreements and make sure that stuff is locked tight so you can sow your royal oats in peace.
He's 50
That's what
something
you
years
should have
old.
done.
There are no oats being sold nowhere.
Well, apparently they are.
see, my thing is twice on his show, at least twice, you had Cat Williams and
To
Monique
give you the,
to give you some advice that, hey,
He
you
wasn't
this is
catching what they
what you
was putting
need.
but
down.
it seems like those advices came years after he was already. He met this girl in 2019. Those shows came out last year.
Right. However, and this allegation just came out, didn't it? And
Yes.
so the thing is, it's like you have people who are sitting in front of you, and I don't know if there are other people in his personal life who are sitting in front of him saying the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. But it's obvious that, hey, you too old for this shit.
Yeah, you not built for this, and that's another thing that with Shannon Sharpe. Like, he last year he was getting all of this heat on social media about having a gay stylist, and they was taking pictures of him with the gay stylist with him at the basketball games. The boy now works for LeBron, so he has put the boy in front of different clientele, but he fired the gay stylist. So now the gay
Interesting.
stylist last week was posting all these clips like, if you would have kept me on the team, I would have kept this out of your stuff. And I'm like, well, had to be going on when he just fired you last year. So it's a lot to the Shannon Sharpe thing. He did step down from ESPN. He made a public statement, which I guess he wasn't paying attention to his text message, and he screenshot the message from the attorney and put it on Instagram instead of copying and pasting and putting it into his own notes and then posting it. Because it's like, this is what you say, and then they put his name at the bottom. So it's kind of like, you ain't even watching what you put out, bro.
I hate that he had to step down. This only thing I don't agree with. We
Mm-hmm.
have a president of the United States who's accused of all kind of shit, felonies, and he is the president. So why do we have rules? That's just how I feel. What are rules for?
Just remember,
What is the law for? Clearly, we in a lawless, unconstitutional
well,
America.
I wouldn't say disagree, but I slightly have a separate opinion. So the law is separate from private business. ESPN is owned by Disney. So Disney is looking at it as in, this is a bad look for our business. Me personally,
Well, they done
I
the
didn't
rest of them kids as well.
I
So
didn't think he had to step down because his podcast still has producers from ESPN connected to his podcast, but he stepped down from the TV show. But I'll be back for football season. He's not coming back to ESPN.
That's sad. And
Even
I
if he
feel
beat
for
this case,
him.
he's not coming back to ESPN on that. He's on the number one show on ESPN. He's not coming back to that show. Even if he beat this case, beat all that,
I
he's
hope the
not coming back.
viewership drop.
He's not coming back to that. He's very important to that show with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, like I said, I hope the viewership drop because, like, what happened to guilty until proven innocent
That's
until
it.
proven
That's
guilty?
in court. That's not in public business.
I just don't
I mean, in
understand. Like
private
Diddy's
business.
situation, it was a clear video that he was whooping that girl butt. Like you can't unsee that.
But we will have to say that he did offer, and I'm going to say allegedly so I don't get nothing into it, but from his own attorney, there was a settlement offer at the beginning of 2025 for the white girl. They said it was $2 million. The lawyer just said it was a settlement offer. So to me, if she turned down an offer and she's willing to go this far with no money, it just
Where there's
gives
heat,
like,
there's fire.
you know, if you turn down $10 million,
I think we're
I
gonna have to
got you.
start getting into like legal terms like plaintiff and defendant.
Plaintiff
as
and
opposed
defendant.
to
Well,
white
Snow
girl.
Bunny is the plaintiff. Allegedly, Snow Bunny's the plaintiff. Shannon is the defendant.
Child.
Our apologies to all the white girls watching.
No, not really. They. Okay, that's enough of Mr. Sharpe and his old shenanigans. Okay, so to a more personal story. I did see this. A 17-year-old young football star by the name of Kyron Casey committed suicide following a run-in with the police. So I did a little background. So last year he was at some event and he ended up, I think it's called vehicular homicide. He hit somebody with a car. They end up dying. The NFL ended up taking his draft, wherever they do the draft combine workouts and stuff. They end up taking his invitation back. I think it was some scholarship talks and stuff like that. So he suffered, I guess, some type of mental trauma. And then this time he was running from a police just on a regular speeding ticket type of thing. And whatever he hit or something like that, he ended up committing suicide trying to avoid the police. So I thought that was a
What?
very,
Suicide? Trying to avoid the police?
Is that the
like,
right
basically killed
terminology?
himself while in the car running from the cops.
Oh, he had an accident. I would say accident. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say
I
suicide.
mean, it's promoted on the internet as suicide. So I don't know. They don't say if it's how he died, but he was running from the cops and he ended up dying. I just say respectfully, I used to see it with suicide because it's like, yeah. But that was and I know I mentioned the story last week about the guy in Atlanta passing away due to an actual suicide in my friend's house. I found out it actually happened in my friend's house.
Oh my God.
Um, so that's why I wanted to bring the story up this week because I just didn't know that. Like, I always thought suicide was like one of those things of like, it has to be a long time coming. And I'm starting to figure out that it could just be something that happened that day that's just so traumatic that you don't know how to deal with it and you just react. So I wanted to bring that up. Any thoughts about that before we move on?
I think suicide is complicated. It's very complicated, and it's something that, like, even when I work with new counselors, it's just something that you have to navigate very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of screening that has to take place, a lot of assessing that has to take place, and it's a conversation that I think wellness is a conversation that we don't have enough in our community.
Yes.
Or just those check-ins.
Yeah.
And we'll probably talk more about it later, but I think right now we're in a state in this world where we are very overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's a lot going on in the world.
yeah, there's a lot going on, and I don't know if everybody has the means to cope.
I'm gonna say this, and this
Yeah.
is from my personal connection with suicide, because
Mm-hmm.
someone in my family committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so low where I want to take my own life. I had a lot of low moments where
Mm-hmm.
it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like it hurt to
Life was
breathe.
life.
It hurt to walk, hurt to get up. I wasn't brushing my teeth. I was just mentally, physically drained.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had a suicidal thought. However, when someone does commit suicide, you have people who you leave behind that is devastated for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So I don't know what needs to be done with our community because I don't agree with suicide. If I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't think that's the answer to things. Um, this is my honest opinion, but I just hope it is more programs out there for people who are thinking
Yeah.
like those thoughts that they can talk, go somewhere and go somewhere, get just to sleep and relax, like some type of program where you get a spa day or something. I don't know,
I
like.
I don't know if that's just I don't know if it's realistic because if you sleep and relax, you wake up and the problems are still there. I think with this conversation, with it being so complex, like when you have like a young person, say for instance, who 17 or under, and they're having suicidal thoughts, um, and it could be situational, circumstantial, and they don't have the ability to leave the situation or the circumstances. Then what? What do you do then?
They live in it.
I
Right.
wish, again, I wish we had more programs or something where someone
I would
can go
say
pick
that,
these
like,
people up or do something,
I would
call
say,
something,
I,
something.
I would say as a suicide survivor, um, I was not looking to end my life. I was looking to end the hell that I was in.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
I
a big
could
question.
not find the solutions or the people to pull me out of that. So every day it would be like, okay, I tried this, I tried this, I tried this, but it's still staying the same. So I never wanted to die, but I did want to escape.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the bigger conversations. A lot of people, as soon as someone says that they want to die, they
Mhm.
want to commit suicide, or they've been having the thoughts, the person on the receiving end freaks out,
Yeah.
and then they want to fix and they want to do something. Um, but I find that it's easier to ask the question: do you really want to die? Or do you want things to
Do you
change?
need help?
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this though:
Uh-huh.
you survived, you're
Hmm.
here. If you think, well, you don't know if you will be not here, but are you happy that you survived? With the life you have now?
Yes. I,
That's
I'm,
it.
I would say yes. I'm happy that I didn't take the way out that I couldn't come back from.
Okay,
I would say that.
I appreciate that.
I would say that. But also, I know what it's like to, as you said, you leave people behind, right? So I'll give you guys a quick story. So when I was 12 years old, I was walking home from school, and I had always walked the same route every day. And my mom came as she was at the end of the street, and I was like, "Hey, I thought you was at work." And she picked me up, and she said, "Hey, you can't go home right now." I said, "Why?" She said, "Oh, it's a lot going on at the house." So we turn around, we pivot, we go to my grandma's house. I walk up the steps, and my uncle lived across the street. And she was like, we all lived on basically on the same block, but she was like, "Don't go this way." I walk in the house. I call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, I'm home. You come pick me up." I hear my uncle in the background like arguing with his girlfriend. Literally 5 minutes later, he killed himself. My dad was standing right there when he killed himself. Basically, she was not allowing him to see the child. He could not afford to keep going back to court because he kept losing jobs trying to go back to court dealing with visitation.
Mm.
So he had always been the most happiest person I ever met. But that situation was so stressful to him. And my dad saw him. My dad walked in the house and I was calling him. And he was like, "I'll call you back, call you back, call you back." And then when he called me back, he was like, um, he just said some words. And he told me, he had passed away. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, damn, like gone forever? Like it didn't hit me like gone forever. And then it was kind of like one of those things of like, he did not want to die, but he was stressed up out.
He didn't see a way out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing he thought about every day. It would be like, "Oh my God, I got to get this second job. I got to get this." Because I remember he used to like do drugs, sell drugs and stuff for a minute. And my dad, that was what he did too. And he never wanted to do that, but he knew he needed quick money to get to see his child because she wouldn't let him see the child if he didn't have money.
Mm.
There would be times where he would be like, "Oh, I want to come." She'd be like, "You got the Jordans? Did you get the school outfits?" And then she would hang up in his face.
Well, damn, what happened to the child now that he passed away?
And it's his
Unfortunately.
junior, so the child, he's very timid, very timid. That's all I would say. He's
Okay.
very timid, but he know he's a junior. He know his dad left. I think he was like 3 at the time. But I just want to share that quick story because it's not about like because for a while I just was like a little angry. Like remember you was talking about in the group chat? I was a little angry, but when you start to take your personal out of it and you understand that that's their life and that's
Yeah.
their choice and we just have to succumb to whatever
I think
comes
you
out of
definitely
that,
have to take your personal views on it out of the situation because
even if it's hard.
yeah, even if it's hard, because personally, I've dealt with depression throughout my entire life, ebbs and flows and just the different types of emotions. And so, yes, the thought has popped in my mind, but I never, wanted to
Acted
carry
on it.
that through or act
Yeah.
it out.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So with the thought, like, because again, I mean, everybody low is different,
Mm-hmm.
but low is low, right?
Low
Yeah,
is
low is
low.
low.
What circles your mind like, damn, I'd rather be dead. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be dead.
I never thought that.
No,
I never
I don't
thought I'd
even
rather be
think
dead.
I don't think that's the thought process. I'd rather be dead. It's just more so like I don't see a way out of this.
Yeah.
And so of course, you have another day and you live another day and you keep going on, and then you slowly find a way out of it, whether it is, talking it through or seeking the necessary help. But I think really our solution is, let's talk about this more. And sometimes even family members are not always
That's
the best
even
support, because it's kind of it's a touchy subject, and our family members, our friends are not professionals. And so
yeah, they're not our
it's one of those things, like, I can't blame anybody for making that decision, but we do need more tools out there, and we need to discuss not just our physical health, we need to discuss our mental health as well,
I
and make
agree.
sure there are tools in place for that.
I think to answer your question, Rodney, um, I think it's about control. And so when you are in a space where you find that you have very limited control over the situations and circumstances, or even the chemical imbalances going on in your body,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that you do have control over is whether you continue breathing or not.
Yep.
And people choose many different avenues to make that not happen.
Yeah.
And so it is going to be very important. Like, I think it's really important to extend a lot of grace in those moments and after.
Yeah.
I don't have grace,
I
unfortunately.
understand where you're
You
coming
don't have
from,
to.
Rodney, because it can be
You're
a
right
very,
not to have that.
because
I have great.
it is to their point earlier, we're talking about taking the personal out of it. That can be very hard. Like, I know people who say that it's a very selfish act, and I also think that it's
That's a
also
very strong statement to make.
I think it's a
I
very
agree.
strong statement to make, but I also believe that it could also be very selfish.
I think the statement is
I think
selfish.
it's selfish to
Hold
tell
on.
somebody to stay in something that they can't, that they want out of.
I think it's very selfish for me to judge someone for whatever they're going through. Like,
Yeah, but that's human
it
to
is
have a
human,
response
but
though.
like, I'm telling you that you should honor my selfishness as opposed to your own.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
I
I
get,
don't want to
I
honor
get our
yourself for
side.
this when you're taking away your life, and now we got to live with the afterlife of it. That's selfish to me. I wake up every day knowing that you're not here, and there's people, and I hate to say this, want to say this, it's in a damn bed said children sick with cancer dying who wants to be here for their family, who wants to live, and who wants, and their life is being taken away because they ain't got an organ, they have
Mm-hmm.
cancer, and you just giving your life away. I see this. I'm gonna get angry. So I think we need to stop. I need to stop talking. Like, it's like my brother wants to be here and he is dead, and here you are taking your life away. My brother's dead, who fought for his life, who
I
wanted
think,
to be here.
I think those are valid
So
points.
I don't
Though.
have empathy and sympathy for that. I don't. And if that makes me a bad guy,
I don't think it makes you a bad guy. I think it makes you an opinionated human.
like,
It don't make you a bad guy. You just have an opinion. I would say for me, I just don't like to compare what one person chose to do versus what one person chose to do, because I can't be you and you can't be me,
That's right.
and I just leave it there. But okay, so on a lesser topic, I would say less heavy topic, Beyonce started her tour yesterday.
Yes.
look good,
Beyonce
look
started the
good.
Cowboy Carter tour, guys. Okay, listen. So I'm gonna say something really crazy. After watching it, because I watched the whole show on Instagram, I don't want to go to the tour. I don't want to go to the
Somebody
tour.
Instagram the whole.
It's no, you know how.
They really should ban
Do you
that.
know how
That should not
serious
be
the
allowed.
Beehive is? The people flew to the show just to stream it
Where
for the
was the
other
first show
hive
at?
that wasn't going to be at the show. It was in
Los
California.
Angeles, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So anyway, so Beyonce did her tour yesterday, the Cowboy Carter tour. After the same year, she just won Album of the Year. She brought Rui out, the youngest daughter, who's the is she the twin with Sir?
Sir.
They twins, right? Okay. She brought Rui out for the song "My Protector," which is about Rui. Blue Ivy had a solo dance and a solo performance to "Deja Vu," which was like iconic because she did the dance from Beyonce's video as a solo. It was just an amazing show. The budget was budgeting, the mic was on, the fashion was fashioning, the 70,000 people was acting like they were 70,000 Beehive fans. So I just want to say Beyonce tour is here. Atlanta, she has what, 2 or 3 dates? they all resale now, so they're gonna be expensive. But y'all gotta go to the show. I'm not going personally because Cowboy Carter is not one of my top 5 Beyonce albums, and Renaissance wasn't either. So this tour is not for me. But I love Beyonce, and if anybody want to give me a free ticket, you can DM for that.
Oh yeah,
I will come to the Atlanta
I
show
will
with a
join
free
you
ticket.
for the show.
Make
I
sure you
ain't paying
send me
for a
the
ticket
Uber
either.
so I can get the State Farm as well. I want the full package.
Uber Black.
I want the Uber Black, baby. Beyonce is premium. I want premium
Sneak me in the
transportation.
back. I don't care.
But yes, so this week, that is all for Hot Topics. Thank you guys for joining. Since my boy Randall is not here, we're going to flip over to Wally. He has Get Your Life, Play the Game.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
What do we have to do?
This is fun.
I heard we have a game coming, opener, so let's see what it is.
Yeah, we got a little game. Yes. Hello, openers. Welcome to a segment I like to call Get Your Life and Play the Game.
Here's the voice.
Well, I mean, I can't be me without the voice.
Screaming.
But I got a surprise. Look, we have a little game bowl here. Because of your generous donations, like, look at us, like, upgrading from our plastic. Like, I love it.
You give it. What you call it? You to come over there at night, they trying to sell shit.
Infomercials. Oh, this HSN.
So give
this
us more
HSN.
donations so we can get more equipment.
Okay.
I ain't even mad at
Tell
that.
us about this game.
So
Sell that
let's
shit,
get into
Wally.
the game.
What's the game about?
The game is I statements of humanity. So
Okay.
in this wonderful bowl here are different statements that our host will have to complete with
Okay.
I statements. And so these are relationship scenarios that are either, hey, it may be a effed up situation that you've either done to somebody else or you've been through, or hey, it could be a more lighthearted version. I don't know.
Okay.
So we shall see. Who would like to start us off?
Solomon.
Yes.
Solomon, get your question, boo. How many questions is it? One per person?
You know, it's more. It's like 6 of them. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
You know,
You write big.
I mean, so y'all can see it.
Let's go.
Can you read it?
Sometimes in relationships, we don't know when we're at fault. I don't think my shit's stinked.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think my shit stinked when.
And so this is where you
Make
give
the I
your I
statement.
statements.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm thinking. This one's kind of hard. What?
So you
Just
just been
go.
perfect. You just been
No,
perfect.
I'm not saying that. Well, so you started it with sometimes you don't know when you're at fault. Like I
So
know when
looking
I'm
back-
at fault.
Yeah.
I'll just argue.
But after reflecting, now you're more healed. Now you're mature. You're a
Yeah.
mature gentleman now.
So looking back, when did you know? When did you think your shit didn't stink?
I would probably say it was maybe my early 20s. And I think it would be more family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in my family, I come from. This is going to be interesting because my mother just started following me on Instagram.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Ma.
Period.
I come from very bold parents, and they have very big personalities, and I inherited a very big personality. And so when I interacted with them, I remember there was a time my mother and I got into a disagreement. I wouldn't necessarily say an argument, but it was a disagreement. And she was like, "You're just so arrogant and this and this and this." And I just looked at her and like, okay, and
I'm a product of you.
I didn't say that. But I at the time I think I kind of took it as a compliment.
Okay. I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Meech.
Oh, I'm next. Oh, okay. ORP. Oh, Over Ship Podcast.
Yeah. Even a little branding.
It's big words.
It looks
Jeez.
like Randall has finished recording for his spicy social media because he's in the comments.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
bro.
Randall.
Ooh.
What's up? Where you at?
Hey, Randall.
It says he had a whole story. This is very to the point. I know I do this very well for my partner.
Ooh.
I am a very good. Let me think. Let me see this again. I know I do this very well for my partner.
Could be spicy. It could be, I don't know. Whatever comes to mind. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I think I'm a very good provider.
Okay.
I know
What does provider mean to you?
like I'm very good. Like I notice what you like, what you don't like, what you need. I'm very comforting. I'm very supportive.
Okay.
I can be demanding, controlling, all that stuff too. But I think if I would say what I do very well, I just try my best to make sure that you are happy, that I can take account for, because I don't think you can make another person happy.
Right.
But I think I'm very good at being a partner. Cool.
Nice. Rodney?
Oh Lord, watch me get something crazy.
I know. I'm like, what's the next one gonna be?
Oh, Jesus, please be with me.
Okay, spare you.
I should have listened to my parents when
Ooh.
they say don't go back to my ex,
Oh.
my first ex.
Okay.
That was just low self-esteem area in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I literally let somebody do me any kind of way. Really tore me down, made me feel like I was less than myself. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of my low moments in life, actually, what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
How I was just so beat down. And when a dude tried to talk to me, I was like, oh, like, I'm ugly, like I'm hideous, like
Yeah.
I'm not worthy to be loved. Like like it was horrible. So to come out from that shit, you have to do some lot of praying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, but I came out of it and I'm so thankful. But I should have listened. Mama said, that ain't the nigga for you. You're gonna be out here gay, be gay with somebody else.
Thank you.
Shout out to Mama Diane.
Right,
That
Mama.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take one for Randall since he's not here. So I don't even know. This is interesting. I know a bitch has killed my vibe when I become quiet. Like if people are like if you're yelling at me or you're doing something aggressive towards me and I become very quiet, you killed my vibe and the other side of me could show up. And you don't want that other side of me to show up because I will throw you off a balcony if we're on a balcony. Oh Lord. Like it gets that serious. So yeah, don't kill my vibe, please.
Why y'all putting them back in there so we can pick them again? Because they're
Oh.
two fresh ones in there.
Yeah. Who wants to
Meech.
pick the extra?
I do one.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, you know what kills my vibe, and I just realized this the other day. I don't like when people who don't know me press me sexually.
What does that mean?
Like if they come up to a club and like touchy, grabby, or like
yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like
I
drunk
don't
people.
either.
That's
I don't know
that's
you.
the issue because drunk people get real touchy.
You don't like drunk people?
No, keep your drunk ass away from me. Like, oh, Simon.
What?
I ain't seen you drunk yet. So.
Oh no, we hold the mirror up to you, Wally.
Okay, I was about to say, didn't y'all have like a little powwow?
I'm like, well, damn. Look, you know how they with those girls on what's Johnson they just show them double on the side.
Because listen, it's like their temperature be high, like the heat is emanating from their body, and then you like it's a smell, it's an alcohol like aura and smell. Like I'm just like, no, just keep that away from me, please.
Are you gonna do a question?
I'll do
you gonna
it.
do the last one?
You
No,
know what?
you kind of
You kind of had a. I didn't like yours.
because I did mine. So you wanna go first?
When Beyonce comes on in the club, I tend to.
I want to hear this shit.
See, why can't I pick an easy one like that?
I dance.
Yeah,
What you do? Do you like twerk?
I twerk.
You twerk? I twerk. Okay.
You
said
said
I
I
twerk.
back to Beyonce.
A little bit.
A little
You
bit.
like cater to you?
I do.
In the
like
I dance
club?
for you.
In the club?
Ooh, dance for you.
Dance for
Okay,
you.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to play the song in my head real quick.
Let's drop them back in.
Well, Meech still has one.
Oh,
don't
Meech
you?
has
You
one.
want me to read it or no?
Yeah, come
I
on.
hate this. I
Let's
just knew
go.
I was going to pick this.
Yeah.
I got out of a bad relationship and I immediately.
Oh damn! I want to hear this.
Why do I always get stuff like this with y'all?
Report to Instagram.
Oh, that's a good one. I no shade, no shade, no shade. I feel no shade intended. Okay, I got out of a bad relationship and I immediately. Okay, I'm reading one more time. I got out of a bad
You ain't
relationship
correct the first 2 times.
and I immediately started regretting getting into that relationship. Immediately. We need more than that.
Yeah, because those are the 2 that say
Okay.
answer. Everybody know
Yeah,
that.
that was very circular. I was like,
So as soon
okay,
as I got out the
Rebecca's one.
relationship, I immediately started regretting it. So I started feeling a lot of resentment because at least for 75% of the relationship, I knew I shouldn't have been in it anyway.
Mm.
So I started regretting, like, why didn't you listen to yourself? Why didn't you listen to yourself? Why did you hold on? And then I started like verbally letting them know about it. Like I started reaching out. I started pulling up. We started having these little
And
meetings.
having arguments with this person?
You pull up on them?
Wow.
Yeah,
This
because
is a lot.
it was one of those things of like, I'm not even winning by with you. You winning by with me.
But
And I
damn.
gotta get out the relationship.
Like
Like
you playing Major Body's too bad. It's too bad.
but and then we got back. We ended up getting into a relationship after that.
Mm.
So when I got out of this most recent time, I immediately knew I had exhausted all of my. Because I'm the type of person that I have to be done with you. Like I can't be like we cool. Da, da,
So
da.
you type of person that nut one time and go nut 3 more for time to make sure you satisfied.
Yeah,
Okay, my
I'm
type
like
of
one of
man.
them. All right, so we have fun
One
playing
and
the
done.
game.
Yeah, well,
Wait, we have 40. Oh my god! So we got a transition. we
All right,
ran out of time.
Okay,
well, you
openers.
gonna let me transition?
I just happened to look up and it's like my glass. It looks so big right there. I'm like, oh shit, that's a 57 to
What
47.
is going on?
No, Wally, we love
thank
it.
you,
Stop.
openers. This has been a wonderful segment. Thank you for tuning in to Get Your Life Play the Game. And Solomon?
All right, openers. Before we get into the menage a trois, we want to remember that Open Relationship Podcast. This is a safe
Speak up.
space. This is a safe space for us
Meech, what are you
to
going
have
through?
open, honest conversations and agree to disagree sometimes. Also, remember that for our live members, we go green, or for our live members who go green, we have live shows every fourth Thursday of the month at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Cool. Anything else? All right. So earlier we were talking about friendships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is this now conversation about the underratedness of friendships. And so my question today is, do you have, or what level of intimacy do you have in your friendships? I recently, I would say within the last 5 years, started building intimacy into my friendships to the point of where I can tell a friend I love you, where I can confide in a friend when I'm overwhelmed or things aren't going well for me.
Okay.
That didn't happen previously?
No, I've historically been the strong friend.
Okay.
So when life is lifing, I power through. I don't let people in. And so within the
That's
last
me.
5 years or so, I've allowed people in. And like I have friends that are just more than surface level.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like for y'all?
For me, it's I put people in categories. So I have different levels of friends. There are friends who've never seen me cry. There's friends who've seen me cry a lot. There's friends who might know if I hook up with a person. There's some friends who might know what I ate for breakfast. Like I categorize and talk to everybody in where I feel like that relationship sits. As far as I love you, I think for me growing up and not hearing that, um, when I got grown, I purposely input that into my friendships.
Mm.
Like I'll get off the phone, I'll be like, all right, cool, holla at you, love you. Or like, love you, bro. Like my little brothers, when they call my phone, if they hang up before we said I love you, I will call them right back and be like, yo, y'all live 3,000 miles away. I love you.
Oh,
Like, cause I'm like, I have technically 10 siblings because my parents is remarried. So like, I always make sure that like, I love you. I'm proud of you. I support them. I fly home for their events if I have to. Um,
How do you find time for 10 siblings?
it's a thing. Everybody don't get called back the same day.
Wow.
But yeah, like back to your question, I make sure because that's a very important thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some surface level friends, but we don't talk on the phone. You know what I mean? We're social friends. But
Mm-hmm.
for my friends who talk on the phone, you've been to my house, I've been to your house. I know your man, you know my man, shit like that. Like intimacy is the core of the relationship, or we won't be friends. I think maybe because I was a July Cancer born, that like I'm just very much into feelings, emotions, and letting people know that. So without that, our friendship probably won't go anywhere because I won't feel attachment to you.
I took that question from a different angle.
Okay.
Like, cause I do say I love you,
Mm-hmm.
so that's not strange to me. What was strange to me, what I got with a new group of friends when I moved to Atlanta, and they was hug, like they'll cuddle with you on a couch, or they'll lay on you in the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
club, and they'll hug you in the club, and like kiss you on the cheek, like
Yeah.
nothing sexual. I was just like, I'm not used to this.
No, I
Like you
will.
gonna run the niggas away. Like, we together. And my friend was like, this is how I show love. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
wow, it's different. Like, sleep in
Yeah.
the same bed. You don't have to sleep in the couch. Get on the other side. Like, I'm like, oh,
And
You
I
gotta have
find that to be
boundaries.
interesting because I'm the same way. Like I had to grow into that. Like I'm
yeah,
not a touchy. Historically, I haven't been a touchy feely person, and even like with participating in the podcast, like we hug when we part. Like we
Yeah.
hugged when we greeted each other. You didn't hug us when you greeted us
I'm
today.
sorry.
Now that I'm thinking
Call his
about it,
ass out.
He be walking in here like Tasmanian devils. So
okay.
that's how he walk
Look,
Goodness.
but like I've become used to and expecting hugs from people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even to even when we were at the podcast event on Saturday,
Yeah.
I think I might have hugged somebody. Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
yeah. I think y'all did too.
Screaming.
And so it was just one of those things where it's like I like this new space of the hugging and the platonic hugging and
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
cuddling
yeah.
and affection. Um, but yeah.
I think for me, I have a wide and diverse circle, but there are certain people that are more intimate with me or that I really connect with, and they may know about specific details about my life because this past few years have been very challenging for me. So there's only a certain amount of people that knows what that looks like and the
Yeah.
fullness of what that means. And so to me, that is intimacy. I'm all for the hugging and all that kind of stuff and whatever, but just be careful because some friends you be attracted to. I'm like, all right, stay your ass over there.
And them type of friends I want
Don't be.
around my man because your friend want to fuck you on the side.
Baby.
I
That's
mean, that's real.
weird.
Yeah.
They sit in their friend zone till they to that weak moment where they got you, bitch. And then they want to press on you.
Gotcha, bitch.
He's one of
Baby.
those.
I'm one of those.
You just
Baby.
confessed it.
Ooh, child, let's move on.
You said watch what you said. Don't hurt me because I might be attracted to you.
Tune in for the next episode.
Come on, Rodney.
Well, in the interest of time, let's develop this a little bit later.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
really do want to get to this letter.
yeah. Because I mean, I was trying. I got a lot to say about them hugging. What's up, openers? You guys at your favorite segment, which is mine, Rodney, and you get to write in your letters. This is
Even though
where,
somebody else writes it.
yeah, that's true, but I read them. Strawberry Rodney.
Yeah.
But yes, this is where you write us, you ask for advice, want to give advice, want to talk about an old previous episode, whatever you want to do, we hear from you. We are your gay uncle, best friends. We could be your gay dad if you need that, So like we just here for you. You can send your letter in two ways. You can email us overwhichpodcast@gmail.com, or you go to our website at www.overwhichpodcast.com, click the contact us and send your letter. And again, Solomon is a therapist. He's not on staff.
You're not getting any money.
I get 10% off top. So hit me up first. I am Rodney Wash. And then I'll connect you to Solomon. But let's get to this letter. As you can see, the letter is on the screen so you all can read with me. Dear Open Podcast. Uh-oh. Hold on.
You with this remote.
Child. Dear Open Podcast. I never thought I'd be writing in, but ooh, we are, here we are. So I've been casually messing around with a manager from a different department at my job. We kept it discreet, flirty texts, and a few late night sneaky links. Nothing too deep. I knew he was married, but to be honest, I didn't care. Ooh, it wasn't my marriage, and he made it clear that their relationship was based on autopilot. Everything was chill until the holiday party. That's when I saw his wife. Y'all, she was beautiful, not just physically, but the way she left the room, the way she looked at him like he was her entire world. For the first time, I felt like the villain. I kept wondering, what if she knew? Watching them together, laughing, dancing, smiling, I felt a knot in my stomach. Now I could even look at him the same. He kept texting like everything is normal, but I'm stuck between guilt and confusion. Am I wrong for suddenly having a conscience? Should I walk away or keep it moving like nothing? Hold on, y'all. So I walk away or keep it moving like I was before. Sign holiday regret.
Oh, that was cute.
Ooh,
Okay.
Lord. After you got a conscience, I'm happy for that. Conscience hoe.
Am I wrong for suddenly having a conscience? Yes.
Why?
What?
Yes.
I want to hear your part. Hold on.
Yes, I think they wrong for suddenly having a conscience because you ignored your conscience to get into the situation. And now you're trying to throw a pity party because now you actually feel like you care about this lady. You knew he was married. You didn't have to put an identity behind his ring. You knew there was somebody else with another ring. And I think that's just people people throw pity parties when they feel like they did dirt. But if you knew what you was doing at the time, what we supposed to do about it on the back end?
Well, damn.
You saw the ring. So that means somebody else is carrying that ring at their job, at their holiday party with their friends. So I think they are wrong.
Okay. While your head like it's turning, what you got to say?
Listen, just when you start off being messy, just continue being messy.
Oh God.
Thank you. I agree.
Just go ahead.
I agree.
Like,
Keep the same
it
energy
is
the
what
whole
it
time.
is. That's not what I got to say.
Wow.
Because you was hoeing at the beginning, so why you feel bad about hoeing if you was hoeing?
Just
You
be a
chose.
hoe
You
in
actively
peace.
chose to hoe, knowing he was married, meaning he's unavailable, meaning there's a commitment he put into something outside of you.
So for me, I'm not going to address the right or wrong. Like, I'm not going to put that on you. However, I'm glad you got a conscience. I'm glad, and I agree with you 100%. Well, with the first part of what you were saying, with the first part, because I think that's what people do. Like once they see how their behavior impacts other people, you actually saw that this might be a good person. This might be a great person.
Yeah.
They walk in the room and they light it up, and you are now like you have the ability to dim that light.
Yep.
Because if the wife saw how you were looking and caught on, then she would have been diminished. She may have been diminished in the moment.
Right.
And so I agree. It's one of those things where once you identify how your behavior impacts other people, then it is what it is.
I think my biggest issue of this whole statement is this sentence right here. To be honest, I didn't care it wasn't my marriage. because you had no personal. You wasn't getting cheated on. You was okay, but you was okay being the reason that somebody else is actively cheating. I just can't. I can't rock with it.
I'm gonna say this, but first I want to say every time we see a podcaster on who watch us, shout out to Boy Please Whatever. He's a podcaster located in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes,
I love
Memphis.
him.
I love
so
Memphis.
make sure y'all go like
Boy Please Whatever.
Please. Oh,
Let me tell you, if you have not tuned into his podcast, it is a key.
It's a key. He's a one-man show, and I love him. You know, we support our other podcasters out here. Now, good sis.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that, Boy Please Whatever, come join us.
Oh yeah,
we would love to have you on here.
I gotta watch this.
Yes, please. Prayer going for like, come on, God, we need to laugh and giggles. But sis, I kind of agree with both parties, but I get what you're saying. When it's not in your face, it's easy not to care, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just keep it real. Like, we all did some dirt. I done did some dirt.
Yeah.
Until I saw the picture on the table. I was like, oh, that's your babe.
Screaming.
and we sweating up your sheets.
As we lay.
So, like, I get it. Like, when there's no face, no picture, no, you can't attach that.
You can't internalize
to something.
Personalize
it means nothing. You just like, oh, this me and you make me feel I will never want me. It's all in me. And then you see the person, you're like, damn, they actually attractive. Damn, they actually are a sweet person. And I'm over here screwing your husband, and you would never know. And you just lollygagging, laughing. Y'all look cute together. So I get the conscience.
So
I don't think you're wrong for having a conscience. I really don't. I think that shows that you are human and you do have some type of heart. No one's perfect. Now it's up to you to either end it or continue it. Now, if you continue it, you're wrong.
And that's my question.
That's why the two questions for me is so crazy. Am I wrong for suddenly having a conscience? If you have a conscience now, why are you still baiting on staying or leaving?
Because it might be you to do.
But you can't have conscience with somebody else's good deed.
Sis,
the two questions don't go together. You either got the conscience or you don't. Okay, so I'm going to shock y'all with this. I don't technically think that this is how I support my friends. What is it that you want to do? Let's come up with a plan to do that. Okay. If you want to leave your man, I got a great plan for you. If you want to keep your man, I got a great plan for you. I'm not here to make the decision for you. I'll lay out the facts after you tell me what really happened.
Okay,
because you know your friends, they sometimes they don't tell you the stuff they did wrong. They just tell you what the man did. Tell me the whole story. Okay, babe, you want to stay or you want to go? Because rather what you want to do, I'm going to rock with that as a friend. So when she says, should I walk away or keep it moving, what matters to you? Does keeping that ladies' man prevent you from living your life?
Keeping that man prevents you from getting your own.
Right. So I'm like, what is it that she want to do?
Or is it a girl? No friends and
it's a girl. Okay.
Like, I'm gonna give it to you straight. Like, I'm gonna give you the real from both sides. So if don't ask me for no advice if you don't want the real.
I don't give my friend advice.
Well, hold on.
Tell me what you want to do.
Hold on. Because a minute ago you just said you started messy, keep it messy.
Exactly.
That's support.
That ain't supporting. You understand the pros and cons of doing that. So,
I agree.
You know, karma is a bitch, and you don't want anybody to do that to you. So
you just saying keep me out of it?
Keep me out of it, because I'm going to tell you the way it is. I'm going to tell you the way it is.
That is true. We're openers. That's all we have for the letter. We hope you enjoyed our episode. And Solomon's going to close us out.
All right, openers. Thank you. Wait, go ahead.
Because we did shout out the guys' podcast. Did we want to mention that we did get voted for the Atlanta?
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying that. So the podcast of Dear Black Gay Men did a survey on his podcast.
Yes. Shout out to Jay.
Yes. And they asked for the top 5 podcasts here in Atlanta. And Randall sent it in the group because I didn't even see it. I was like, what is this? I watched it. And we made number 1. And there was some good people on there.
Yes.
So for everyone watching us, like, we know we growing. I know it's a lot of things going on. Y'all like we on off a week. We working our probably working on it.
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
We appreciate y'all for rocking with us and just staying tuned. We are getting better each episode. And just thank y'all. I was shocked. I was like, yeah,
I was too.
We beat him. So yeah, but thank you for saying that.
Sure.
I forgot
so
that.
Jay, is it Jay or Jai?
Jay, it's Jay.
So Jay the gentleman, thank you for even doing a survey
and highlighting those.
And thank you for the openers and all the viewers for voting us number 1 for that survey. And to that, thank you, openers, for joining the four of us, collectively five, as we
Yes.
swallow hard topics and spit difference of opinions.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.